Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Palanisima, Jaya Palanisima. Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Premanandi. Hari Bol. Okay, so today we're going to talk about yoga psychology, and probably take this in my hand because I'm going to stand up also, and I'm going to put this in the back, not throw the water. Okay, good. So first of all, thank you for coming. I'm very happy to share this with you. This is something I was working on during the past 2 years mainly, but also longer. And the reason why this is so relevant is that some of you might have noticed that when we practice spiritual life, we still get somehow stuck at certain points in our spiritual life. And no matter how much we chant, no matter how much service we do, we seem to come across the same obstacles, the same triggers, the same conflicts over and over again, and we're not moving much forward. So the reason for that is not that there's something wrong with our spiritual practice, but many times something is off with our internal practice. So the internal cultivation, the internal transformation of the mind is often neglected. And that's one of the reasons why we get stuck. So therefore, in today's little workshop, we're going to take a look at that, not just from a philosophical point of view, but from a very practical, interactive point of view. So you actually get something out of it, and you can use it in your life to transform. And before we start with all of this, I would like to ask all of us to enter into a state of prayer right now. So you can close your eyes. And I would like you to offer a prayer and intention that everyone that is in this seminar and workshop right now, is ever going to listen to it in the future, is going to benefit from this, is going to experience transformation. Basically, we want to wish every soul in this room all the best from our heart. So we create some auspiciousness. So, okay. Okay. So, the reason why we do this in spiritual life, the reason why we offer prayers, and the reason why we put intentions before we do something is because there's a science to it. A prayer is basically setting out an intention and is showing Krishna that we are sincere about what is going to happen. And it's showing that we are basically really the well-wisher of the devotees. And nothing pleases Krishna more when he sees that we want to please his devotees and wish them all the best. That's another big reason why we get stuck in spiritual life, because we start to find fault and we lose our appreciation. So, okay, so I'm going to give this mic around, and I want to hear from everyone in 1 or 2 words why you're here today. So I get an idea of where we're going to go, because I have enough material for 1 week or so. So I want to understand how I can serve you best. I'm going to start with Balaram, because I know he is fine with that, and then we're going to pass it around. 1 or 2 words, very briefly, no life stories, just what is your intention here today? What are you trying to get out of here? Whatever it is, so I get some idea of how I can best serve you. Are you taking a second mic, or should I pass this mic around? Okay, so just take the mic.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, I will look for it after I share. Why am I here? Okay, I was to similar workshops from you. I like them, and I know this is going to be better even. And to learn it and give it further.
Yeah, I'm also here because I like to listen to your lectures very much. And also because I want to learn more about the subtle bodies and everything that we were talking before.
I didn't know what the seminars of the workshop is about, but you invited me, so that's why I'm here. So I'm waiting to be surprised.
I'm also here for the first time, so I basically want to get rid of my anarthas.
Okay, wow, okay, thank you. Shimanjari?
I am here because of you.
I'm not going to let that count anymore. It's not a very good reason to be here.
No,
You're going to be disappointed.
last time we did this workshop in Rishikesh I was surprised, even though, like, I know him and we always speak about these things. So I'm excited to hear it again. It's just...
Shimanjari is my wife, just for context. Okay.
Hare Krishna. For me, my intention is to be open and receive.
Okay.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Haribol, I'm here to get some inspiration.
Okay. Inspiration, good.
I'm here because I want to improve myself.
Okay, improve yourself, wonderful.
I'm here because I want to widen my horizon and
Okay.
be open.
Wow, nice.
I think I'm here to do some reflections, self-reflections.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know because I need to leave soon to wake up some answer.
I like honest and authentic answers. They're the best. So I'm going to probably stand up now. Thank you for sharing that. You can keep the mic because I'm going to keep asking you questions. Right. So now I have to understand where, like, you can all please move a little bit like here, because otherwise I'm going to stand directly in your way. Just a little bit. Why not? Prabhus don't bite, although they look like it. Okay. No, really, also here, because otherwise I'm going to stand in your way. I'm not going to be able to show you this. So, this basically is a concept you probably have heard. Who has heard about this before? Anamoy, Pranamoy, Manamoy. Who has heard this before? Who has never heard anything about this before? Okay, good. So, I already wrote what this is. This is our physical body. Okay? And by the way, this is very real. This is not just a concept. This is not theory. These bodies actually exist. Okay? They are real. You can experience them, you can touch them, and which is what we're going to do in today's meditations. Like, I want you to experience this stuff. So we have the physical body, which is 5 elements. It's quite clear what that is, our physical body. I don't have to explain it. We have our pranic body. Pranic body is basically our energy body. Okay, so we have 5 different pranas. We have masculine and feminine energy. We have chakras and so on. We're not going to talk so much about this today because of time and because for us we're really going to focus on this because this is the big troublemaker. These 2 actually. So then we have Manamoy. Manamoy, the mind. So the mind is based on 4 different parts. Yeah, which we're going to look at, which is ahankara, chitta, manas, and buddhi. And then we have vijnanamoy, which is the body of intelligence, but not just any intelligence, the higher spiritual, cosmic intelligence. There's a difference. And then we have anandamoy, our spiritual body. Okay? So far, so clear. Now, to understand this concept even better, we want to take a look at this. We want to understand why we're here today. Not just in the temple room, but in general in this material dimension. Now, we're not going to speak about why we fell from the spiritual world. This is not a topic I'm passionate about. But what we want to understand is how we get from being a pure soul that is with Krishna. Okay. How do we get from here to this point where we have a physical body? And by the way, on the earth we have a physical body. There are higher planets where people don't have a physical body. Okay? So how do we get here? Now what happens is when the Atma has the tendency to be independent. Yeah, we are basically in this loving relationship. And when the Atma has some tendency to be independent, then we kind of project ourselves into this material dimension, but in a very, very, very pure state. Okay? So the first step into the material, it's not like we come into this material dimension and we are completely contaminated and lost. It's like the first layer, okay? Which is called Mahat. Have you ever heard about this before? So I have all kinds of Shastric references for this, but I believe that I'm going to share them with you in the end of the class because otherwise it's going to be too much. Prabhupada basically calls it the shadow of the soul. I believe it's 3.5.27. Prabhupada explains this. So this is going to be very important because this is the cosmic intelligence, the spiritual intelligence. And this is what we need to cultivate. Very, very important. Because if we don't cultivate this, we are getting really lost. So the next thing that manifests, this is a very pure state. You know, it's a state impersonalists try to achieve, where you feel one with everything, where you feel very connected. And then the next thing happens, the ahankara. So the ahankara is still sattvic. Okay? So we sometimes say the ahankara is such a bad thing, you and your false ego, you and your ego. The point is, there's a healthy ego and there's a false ego. So, there's false and there's also healthy ego. Both are there. And this is going to become very important because most of us, we don't know how to have a healthy ego. This makes a lot of trouble because we are somewhere between transcendence and Maya, like bouncing forth and back. There's no steadiness in that. When the ahankara transforms, the mind is created. Okay? It's a transformation of the sattvic ego. Don't worry if you have many questions right now. We'll focus on what is really important. And the mind is basically like an outer mind and an inner mind, you could say. You have an unconscious mind with all of our samskaras, all kinds of previous lives, all these different things and tendencies are there. So basically, Mahat, Vijnanamoy, this body here, has just tendency. Prabhupada calls it little seeds, karmic seeds. We haven't acted on them. There's this, I wonder what's, beyond Krishna. What is there, for example, So little seeds, we don't act on them. When you're on this state, it's basically the state of Nishta. It's almost pure consciousness. A tiny bit of passion in there, very high. So then, this here, when we talk now about this body here, which is Manamo, you see there's a lot to cover here. We have the ahankara, we have the unconscious mind with all of our samskaras that are now lived experiences, okay? So we go from tendencies to lived experiences, and then we have what we all know, our emotional mind. Sankalpa vikalpa, right? We all know this. I want this, I don't want that. I want this, I don't want that. So the emotional mind. And then now it becomes a bit more complex. We have buddhi. Now I thought buddhi is higher than the mind, right? Yes or no? You say? Right, so there's a reference in Srimad Bhagavatam. By the way, if you want to read upon all of this very nicely, there's a beautiful chapter in Srimad Bhagavatam 326 where you can read up all of this later on, okay? So where there's a reference given. So this is the ego sattvic transformation, manas, the emotional mind which is related to the moon. And then when the ego transforms in a rajasic way, we have the analytical mind. Our problem is that we are very much operating on these two levels, like a hamster in a wheel. And we are not aware of these layers here. They're kind of like sleeping. And what happens, this is kind of like the subconscious mind that pushes down here with, for example, like you have some anger because in a previous lifetime your neighbor came and killed you because of some money. I'm using a very extreme example. So now, in this life, you carry this anger of revenge. Now, you might meet this neighbor again in this lifetime or not, but you carry subconsciously this fire, this emotion of anger here. It's there. And it pushes your manas. So you easily get agitated. Do you know people that are, have high levels of fire and small things in there, explode? Because they have these unprocessed things inside themselves. Those of you who have high pitta, who have high, they can relate to this. Now, because we're not aware of what's happening here, and now very important, because we're just chanting on the level of here, of these two lower levels, we're not really purifying much here, the unconscious, subconscious mind, because we're just chanting and then thinking about the day, chanting and looking at that devotee that doesn't look focused, chanting, thinking about what happened yesterday. Our chanting doesn't go deep. It doesn't go to the level where our samskaras is. It doesn't really purify these levels so much, just to keep that in mind. So, again, this example of anger. So we have this underlying samskara of anger. Now, let's say this is Bhakta Joe. Bhakta Joe is in the Pujari department and he's cleaning something. Now, Bhakta Peter comes and takes something away. Why are you taking this away from me? I need this now. He gets very agitated. Why? Because he has these previous samskaras of I can't trust people, people want to get on my case. Have you noticed people react differently with exactly the same context? I could tell you a sentence, each one of you, and every one of you would probably react a little differently. I could compliment some of you, and some of you would be like, oh, okay. Some of you would be like, it's not getting in at all. Everyone would have a certain different reaction. And it's because of this chitta, the conditioned consciousness. Prabhupada calls it conditioned consciousness. So now what is very relevant for us is, because we are mainly controlled by our emotional mind, we employ our analytical mind, our lower intelligence, to get what we want. For example, let's say, what could be, okay, I'm using temple examples. Let's say, I want to get married, okay? Here, our manas is like, I want to get married. Now, Buddhi starts to think about all kinds of reasons of why to get married. Finding quotes of Prabhupada, or devotees that talk about how you should be dressed, or whether a woman should be guru or not. A lot of it is just based on it's not a very high level of conversation sometimes. Okay, no, I said something controversial. Anyway, so my point is, now Bhakta Joe wants to get married. He finds all kinds of arguments and reasons why to do it, because Buddhi is controlled by what? Manas is what? What is manas? What kind of mind? The emotional mind, right? The original state of manas is sattvic. But because it's conditioned, it's mainly rajasic and tamasic. You understand? If the mind would be sattvic, that's when we have steadiness. That's when we sit down and chant and really get into it, So now Bhakta Joe wakes up the next day, and what does he say? I don't want to get married. Now he starts to take, sorry, it's just a little irritating. Now he starts to use the intelligence to find all kinds of reasons why he shouldn't get married. Opens up Bhagavatam, the traps of householders, and it's like going on and on. I'm sure at least the men can relate to this, the ladies maybe also, if they ever thought they're going to be a nun for the rest of their life. But it's like, or we get hurt in relationships. I'm never going to be in a relationship again. It's so painful. Or we have a child and it's difficult. So we just employ our buddhi to justify our emotions. And this is a big problem, because we're going through the same situations, the same things, each day, each week, each month. And to break this here, what is going on here, is very difficult, because our spiritual practice, guess what, is also on this level. And then we chant for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Oh, still same challenges, still same triggers, still same problems. Okay? Now, what are we going to do about it? Okay? We all know, just chant the holy name and you go back to Krishna. Okay? We all agree on that. So, I'm not here, I don't give this seminar to point out things that are already pointed out to you every day. Okay? So for sure, if you don't have a strong japa, if you don't have a strong study of the Shastra, if you don't have strong association in hearing, of course, then this becomes what we're going to do now also a bit irrelevant. So what we're going to talk about now, and I want to make this very clear for the record, is not supposed to replace any of your spiritual ongoing practices. It's just going to be a support for you to better chant, to better serve, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, there's some echo in it. Okay. This is just for context, okay? I'll be deep into this, talk more about... Okay, one more important point is, so one of the things we want to learn is we want to be able to zoom out from our daily sewage of our thoughts and emotions and interactions. We want to zoom out here to this point, because Mahat Buddhi is the observer. Have you ever chanted the holy name and the holy name was just becoming a flow? And it felt like your normal identity was broken because the holy name was just going on. This is when you chant on a high level of intelligence. That's when a lot of purification happens. When you chant on this level, Hare Krishna, and then this and that, and your mind goes on, very little to no purification. I mean, no purification, the holy name always purifies, but in one sense, it also amplifies what you're thinking about. So we want to be mindful of that too. So you want to link the analytical mind, the lower intelligence, with the higher intelligence. This is what Krishna says. When Krishna says, higher than the senses is the mind, and higher than the mind is the intelligence, he talks about this buddhi, the higher spiritual intelligence. That voice is like, no, get up early tomorrow morning. The voice that is like, no, let's do this with love and devotion. This higher spiritual intelligence. Okay? So this is very important. This can happen through studying Shastra, but if you also do it on an analytical level, like now, if I would just stay on this level, you would all get some new information, and there would be little transformation. Just some new information. Okay? But we want to make this real. What do we want to do? We want to transcend our body. Shall I tell you something? Most of us are completely disconnected from our body. Okay? Like we are disconnected from our body. We want to transcend something that we are rejecting on some level. When we see, Krishna consciousness is designed in one sense. Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita assumes that you are a healthy human being in one sense, right? But in Kali Yuga, we are pretty messed up. Okay? Because Manas is the moon, and then, also the sun aspects that. It's how we are born, but we get to that. So basically, the physical body, us being disconnected from our physical body causes a lot of trouble. Because when you're disconnected from your physical body, what problems could there be? Tell me. Where's the mic? You have it somewhere? Tell me, what problems could there be if you're disconnected from your physical body? As a transcendentalist, as someone that wants to reach the highest spiritual level. Any idea? When you're disconnected from your physical body, you're not connected to your physical body. Do you even understand what that means? Okay, good. We're going to do a little meditation now so you can feel this. Because we always want to talk about very high topics. But actually the problem is, these 5 bodies that are real, they exist. They exist. They are completely disconnected from each other. Your body wants something, your energy goes somewhere, your mind is all over the place, your spiritual intelligence is asleep. Everything is disconnected. But this has to be connected. This has to be in alignment. Why did Prabhupada say 50% Varnashram? My mission is not done, 50% Varnashram. Because Varna and Ashram deals with this here, these 3 levels. Look, Arjuna is like, Krishna, I'm not going to fight this battle. I'm going to go to the temple and chant Hare Krishna. And Krishna is like, no, you're not going to the forest to meditate. You're going to fight a battle. Why? Why is he saying that? Why did Prabhupada, quote unquote, I'm not saying waste his life, but you could think, why did Prabhupada spend so much time cultivating family life, doing business? Why? Is there something in it for? Is it chance? What's happening? Why Bhaktivinoda Thakur? Why does he have 10 children? And what's the point of this? Because they're all teaching us something. But we are not getting it because we want to be transcendental. And then later we come in very, 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 very embarrassing situations. Okay? So therefore, that you even understand what I'm talking about, I would like you to start by telling me how you're feeling right now. One word, starting again with Balaram, because I'm just going to pick you. One word. Not more. And quickly. Zack, 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 zack. And then we're going to do the meditation. Oh, I just wanted to relax here and listen to this. Oh my God, all day I was out and now I have to do this. No, I'm sorry.
Distracted.
Good, thank you. See, authenticity is one of the most important things in spiritual life, which is why I like Jerome so much, because he's always very authentic. This is very important. If you're trying to be a fake devotee, like a pure devotee, but internally you have a lot going on. Anyway, we're going to talk about this. Yeah.
I feel like I want to know more about this.
Okay. Very good. Very authentic. You see how authentic this is? It came from the core of his being. I want to know more. Good. Pass it on.
I feel quite relaxed.
Okay, nice.
Stuck.
Stuck. Okay, nice. Shimanjari. Nice meaning, thank you for sharing. Like,
I feel my mind is thinking a lot about this last point that you said, alignment. So I'm thinking about how does it comes in my life.
Okay, how does it apply in your life? Good.
I feel like this really resonates with something that I'm living in this moment. So I'm very grateful, Prabhu.
Grateful. Very nice.
Thank you.
For you that you're feeling like this.
Interest.
Interest? Okay, I thought disinterest.
Confused.
Confused, okay.
Interested to hear about this?
Okay.
I'm processing.
Processing, okay.
Excited,
okay, nice. So look, like we have an audience with like some variety, some of you are a bit technical and philosophical, some of you, like everyone works like anyway, there's so much to say about this. My point is, now we're going to do meditation because I don't want you to just now think about it, I want you to experience this. That's my point, okay? So also your brain frequencies slow down as you go higher or deeper, okay? Now, if you haven't understood a single thing, like, don't worry about it, okay? Whatever you understood, wonderful. Even just one point is great. So now we're going to do this guided meditation, if it works. Okay. Very small meditation, just close your eyes. Just be very comfortable, all of you. Comfortable. And I would like you to just notice how you are feeling right now, this very moment. Try to connect to your physical body. How does my body feel? How am I feeling deep down? Try to connect to that. And if you notice anything, just notice, accept it, observe it, and just go on in this meditation. Now, as you're connecting to your physical body, I would like you to let go even a little bit more. Just allow yourself to arrive and fully come present here in this meditation. And then I would like you to increase the earth element in your body. I would like you to ground yourself. That's what we're going to do. Very important. I would like you to imagine how from your body, your physical body, roots are going down into the earth. Like a tree has roots that are going down into the earth, I would like you to visualize and feel how from the bottom of your spine, roots are going down into the earth. Just really connect to the earth and understand Mother Bhumi is a personality. Okay? Now, as you're connecting to the earth, I would like you to meditate how you release any stress, any tension, anxiety, discomfort down into the earth. Just like I'm letting it go deep down into the earth. This looks very good. And try to meditate how you are happy to be on this earth. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to serve Krishna. I feel shelter. I feel support from the earth. And you can visualize also how from the earth energy, or however you want to call it, comes up. How you're feeling, how you're increasing the earth element in your body, how your body becomes a bit more heavy, how you're feeling a bit more grounded. And notice how that makes you feel. And then I'm going to count to 3, and we're going to go out of this meditation. 1, 2, and 3. So I just noticed that usually I do this meditation in a particular way, but because we're in the temple, I was containing myself a little bit because I'm still aware we're here in a official setting. But what did you notice, just briefly, as we did this meditation? Just one word again. Maybe we can start this time with Kalindi. Just with the mic, just one word.
Yeah, it's still distraction. Yeah.
Right.
Hard to focus.
Right. Okay, let's go on before I say something.
I feel distracted too.
Okay, distraction.
I still feel the same.
Okay.
Comfortable.
Comfortable.
Some distraction also.
Okay.
Peaceful.
Okay.
A little bit cold in my body.
I think I'm pretty good grounded, but also before the
You're
meditation.
you're a very grounded person. I know. You're a very grounded person.
More relaxed.
Okay. Yes.
Uncontrollable mind.
Yes. Now, very good. You, Balaram?
Yeah, more focused, more grounded. More grounded, more focused.
Okay, so why did I do this now with you? Because now we're going to work our way up from the physical body up to the Atma, okay? I forgot to mention that. So you'll see that this exercise, and anyway, usually I do it a little differently, but the point is it amplifies whatever is inside of you, okay? So when you connect to your physical body, you become more aware of what's actually going on inside yourself. So if you feel restless, when you connect to your body, that restlessness becomes intensified. Now, why would you want that? Because if you do that, you can start to become more aware of what's going on. You want to become the observer of what is it that is pushing me to be restless? What is it that is pushing me to be distracted? What is really going on? So, for example, Rajagun means that you are, like disconnected from your physical body. You are like, it's air, it's going on, air and fire. It's a big party, like, and Sattva is very grounded. It's very connected to nature, very connected to the earth. It's gratitude, peacefulness. All of this happens when you connect to the physical body. Now, however, we all feel this experience of being disconnected, of being restless, of being stressed. At least I experienced this. Now, what is happening? When we start to disconnect from our physical body and from our mind because of stress, we kind of like go into survival mode. Most of us are in survival mode. Survival mode means that I'm pushed by the emotion of fear. Survival mode is, okay, there's a lion, there's a deer, the lion attacks, the deer runs away, okay? So, because we are not feeling safe often, what we do is we try to avoid situations, we argue, we become depressed and just completely, collapse into our bed and nothing is working anymore. Or we create a fake personality in order to please others. Anyone ever experienced this in the temple? Putting on the devotee mask? Yes? This is actually a survival strategy because you notice, everyone is dressing and behaving in a certain way, so I'm going to do the same. But now what are you doing? You're disconnecting from your body and from who you really are authentically. You're disconnecting from it. Right? It's a big, big problem. Now, this survival mechanism is because, like I said, we don't feel safe. One way to feel safe is by connecting to the earth. The earth gives us what we didn't receive as a child, for example, from our mother. Because like in Bhagavad Gita said in the first chapter, the woman is central, the mother is central. When the mother is not protected, when the mother is not feeling safe, then there's chaos. The society degrades. Right? You remember this. This is mentioned in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So connecting to the physical body, connecting to the earth, connecting to nature naturally grounds us, which is why Prabhupada spoke so often about it, because he could see we are very, very restless, and nature helps to ground yourself. Unless you're very passionate, then you can really lose it. Like, for example, people that are born in a city. If the environment is too peaceful, they won't feel comfortable. They need some passion to engage in this. Anyway, whole nother topic. So this grounding exercise that, we just touched upon a little bit, which if you're interested in that, you can just reach out to me, because this is the whole exercise you can do with earth energy and so on and so forth, can help you to feel safe, to ground yourself. When you do that, you sleep better, you feel more peaceful, you have better boundaries. It has many, many positive effects, right? Do you sleep well? You don't sleep well?
No, sometimes yes, sometimes.
But,
depends on where I am.
huh? Okay, I would have said you're a good sleeper. I mean, compared to me, you're a pretty good sleeper. I was living with you, so you have a very good habit of going to sleep at a specific time, getting up at a specific time. You're quite grounded. So I would say, like that. So, okay, so this topic of survival mode. Okay. Do we have another thing? This is very important to understand. We are basically, because we are not feeling safe, okay, I'm not feeling safe, I'm not feeling comfortable, I feel I can't be myself, I start to be, I start to create a mask. A false identity. So there's the normal false ego, which means basically you identify as a human, and then there is a false ego where you're not even authentic. This is the number one problem we have as devotees. Because when you're not connected to your body, when you're not connected to yourself, you're just lost, you're confused, you don't know where to go in life. Like, there's no clarity. Because we're wearing a fake mask, which is very tempting, especially in a temple, but also outside. We'll try to fit in. Now, feeling safe can also happen through prayers, through chanting the holy name, through good relationships with other people. But again, if we're wearing a mask, if there's another jiva, I'm going to write it now like this, that wants to connect with us, this person will just see this mask. And our heart, the Atma, is never reached. It's just going here. And then we are in a community of people, but we feel empty. Oh, no one cares about me, no one loves me. But this is happening. Okay? So this is very, very important to understand. Now, getting out of this, there are various things that can be done. However, one central theme is to understand your Dharma, your nature. If you're properly situated, if you're properly engaged in your Dharma, this entire Manamoy body, even here, all of this is taken care of. When you follow your Dharma, you have energy, you feel strength, you feel inspiration, you feel clarity. You're in a positive mood. All of this comes when you develop a healthy sattvic ego. Now, sattvic ego doesn't mean Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Mataji. It might mean like that. But some of you might be Kshatriyas, some of you might be Vaishyas, some of you might have so many different natures. So the point is, you take your nature and apply it in spiritual life. Okay? very easy way to look at what your nature is. Like ask yourself what you were doing before you became a devotee. You know, I'm not talking about smoking pot, taking drugs and doing nonsense, but the substance you had in your life before you became a devotee. What were you doing? You know, what were you engaged in? What were your talents? What direction was life going? Not the tamasic things, but, you know, these things. This can give you some idea. I would encourage you to think not so much in boxes of like this ashram, this varna, because most of us, we don't understand even what that means, varna. We're very confused, and I know we spoke about that, Jarun, but I'm just going to use it because I hear it all the time. This astrologer told me I'm this and this varna. I hear this all the time because, you know, I'm doing counseling and consultations. All the time people come to me. I'm like this and like that because this astrologer, this person, and blah, blah, blah has told me that. Big, big red flag. Red flag, okay? So, no. Let me qualify this. The astrologer might be right, but my point is, you want to feel it. Like you want to have this personal realization yourself. So again, this is not, it's not about you. I just used you as an example. So, because... You know, why am I sharing this with you? Because I was like I was constantly, you know, like looking without to understand who I am. But your material nature, your dharma is only something you can know. People can give you hints, people can give you ideas, people can say, look, there's a door, why don't you walk through it? But the point is like you want to get a healthy understanding of your nature, of your talents, and of what you're inspired by. This is very, very, very crucial and very important. Now, when we are born as children, the situation that we have, that we find as a child, is a summary of all different lifetimes. The way our mother acts, the way our father acts, the environment in which we're in, the people that are there, the circumstances, is all designed in a particular way to give us particular experiences. Okay? Now, speaking to this point of safety, did you get this point of safety? Let me just ask you. Did you understand what I mean when I say feeling safe? Just be honest. If you didn't understand, tell me. Okay. So, this feeling of safety comes for man from the mother. For woman, it comes through, right, the father, the sun. Father is represented by the sun, mother is represented by the moon. So these circumstances that you experience as a child can be reprogrammed, okay? So going back here, let's say you grow up as a child, you're born, your father leaves when you're 1 year old. Now, the samskara of feeling abandoned is created in your subconscious mind. You know, I feel abandoned, no one loves me, for example. Now, mostly this happened already the life before and the life before that and the life before that. You know, it's like an ongoing story. Like this life here, all the things we do, we have all done them before. Now this new samskara is created. Now you go through life and you struggle. Let's say you're a woman, your father left you when you were young, was not there in your life. Now you have the tendency to be attracted to men that are emotionally unavailable, and you have this general feeling of not feeling loved and appreciated. So even when you are in a devotee community, you feel not loved, you feel not appreciated, you feel people are going to abandon you and not value you. Now is it the fault of the temple president, temple commander in the community? No. Like your external reality is completely subjectively created by your inner programming. Okay? And when we chant properly, these samskaras, the samskaras of fear of being abandoned, are cleared. But now we get in a problem. Because we're not feeling safe, because we are distracted, because we are stressed, we're not chanting in a focused way, so the samskara doesn't get cleared. Right? And then we keep doing the same thing over and over again. Therefore, we have this spiritual intelligence Our spiritual intelligence is meant to zoom out and give you insights about what you need to move forward in life. This spiritual intelligence is also very closely connected to the Paramatma. Okay? I think that's a meditation we're going to do. It's very easy to do it because I have different meditations. You have the earth energy meditation, you have cosmic energy meditation, inner child meditation, but I'm not 100% comfortable to do them in a temple room because, it's considered by some modern psychology. But my point is to speak it from a Krishna conscious point of view. You are meant to become aware of your subconscious programming of what's going on. For example, let's say you have lust. Okay, I'm lusty. Yeah, but what's happening? What's going on? Go deeper. Try to understand it. Bring the emotion. This is something Bhaktivedanta Maharaj Goswami recommends. Bring the feeling and emotion to your conscious mind. Feel it, but don't identify with it. Observe it. This is a key, but it's very hard to do when you're constantly stressed and distracted, for example, which most of us are, if we're really honest, Like whether you live in the temple or not, there's always some emergency going on. And our society, the material society, is designed in such a way to constantly keep you engaged. You take your phone, you scroll, you're constantly disconnecting from your body. See, the body, I'm not just talking about the 5 elements. The body is kind of like your first point of reference. It's the anchor in your life, If you reject your physical body, if you reject this part, then you can't transcend it. So many devotees, Jai Nishingadev Bhagavan, so many devotees believe they are transcending their body and mind, but you know what they're doing? Spiritually bypassing. Everyone knows what that means? That means you use spiritual knowledge and information to justify your nonsense, Like, I'm transcendental, I don't have any anger or envy. No, you don't. You're just not aware of it, Or like, I don't need to get married. But Prabhu, you're hanging out with this Mataji every single day. Yes, but I'm just trying to help her. It's like we're trying to be something we're not. We're trying to bypass something. So this is very, very important. Good. Now, any questions so far on this subject matter? Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu. So is this cosmic intelligence sometimes, coming from the spiritual master or
Thank you. So Mahat Buddhi, the way to strengthen it is through Shastra and through Guru. So the Guru operates from this level. Therefore we have Guru, because the Guru is able to see this mess that is going on and tell you something. But again, we run into a problem here, because most of our spiritual masters, how often do we see them? If they're still physically present, rarely. So traditionally, in the Gurukul or at home, you would be with your spiritual master almost every day. They would see you, they would observe you, they would give you feedback, they would, for some time of period, not for all of your life, but for some amount of period, you would live very closely with your Guru. Even, this, we call him Mayavadi, Paramahamsa Yogananda, before he came to the West, this is the tradition in India, you spend a lot of focused time together with your Guru. Even Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada was very special. He just needed a few moments to get this from his spiritual master. But the Guru activates our spiritual intelligence. Thank you very much. I wrote down to write about this. Spiritual intelligence is humble. What does humility mean? This is something important to understand. Devotee sometimes means, humility means low self-esteem. I'm going to lay on the floor, please all jump on me and kick me and hurt me because, I'm just a straw on the street. If you're in ecstasy at that time, because you're experiencing Krishna in your heart, all glories to you. If you start to feel resentment, anger, sadness, that's not the goal of this. Humility doesn't mean that you think of yourself less, that you have low self-esteem. Humility means that you are connected to Krishna and you're acting for the pleasure of God, that you are experiencing, this is something you can experience, the joy and bliss of being insignificant. This is a paradox. In material life, it's all about building up this mask here, you know, like of, I am the best. I am the best. I'm better than you. That's the nature of material life. I'm a better mother. I have a better career. I have better children. I have more money. I have more fame. You know, to be the best is one of the principles. In spiritual ego, is about being insignificant. Why? Why do you want to be insignificant? Does Krishna want to torture us? Yes. Okay. Krishna, why does Krishna want us to be insignificant? Does he like to torture us? Put us in a corner? What's the point of it? Tell me, anyone.
To grow.
Okay. Yes. But these are all rational answers, but they don't. We are very emotional beings. We can understand, oh, Krishna wants us to be insignificant, I'm the servant of the servant of the servant. But how inspired will you feel from this? Are you getting excited to hear that you're insignificant? If you're really honest, most of us are not. So why is it that we need to be insignificant? Because when you're insignificant, when your ego basically dissolves, then the nature of the soul, which is Sat, it's eternal, Chit, full of knowledge, the ability to know, and Ananda comes through. We don't experience any, no one can read this anymore, should take. See, we don't experience Ananda because it is blocked from the Ahankara. Not just from the Ahankara, but basically from this theater, this drama that's going on. The bliss doesn't go through. You know, like, okay, another way to look at this, if you imagine you have the Atma here, this is the core of your heart. Then around that your heart you have the Mahat, okay? The cosmic spiritual intelligence. Then you have the Ahankara. Mahat is very, very close to the spiritual nature. It gives you experience of bliss. It gives you experience of just knowingness. All mystic powers are here. On this here. When devotees tap into their higher cosmic intelligence, they get insights about themselves, about the future, about the past. Some yogis start to develop cities. It comes from here. It's because, you know, our godly nature awakens, so to say. But because this is all covered here, you know, the chitta, and then, you know, the manas, and buddhi, and so on and so forth, you know, the ananda can't really get through, you know? And when we experience, have you all experienced spiritual bliss at some point in your life? Spiritual bliss, happiness, you've experienced it? I pray and hope all of you did, because that's hopefully why we're here. This happens when you are able to put this to rest. This like thinking, analyzing, planning, organizing, I don't feel good, oh, I feel good, oh, I don't know how I feel. You know, like all this stuff that is, I feel angry, I feel revenge, I feel envious, like I have this desire, I need to fulfill it. When all of this calms down, we experience that we are just pure consciousness. We can just observe. And when you chant on this state, when you serve on this state, then there's very, very, very quick purification. Okay? So, and that's what the Guru is meant to do, to sort this out, this mess. Now, when we can't physically be with the Guru, then we need to hear. Because the sound, transcendental sound, can penetrate our consciousness. But if we listen, for example, just on an analytical level, it's already good because we are attentive, we take notes. But do we really ask ourselves, what does this mean for our life? Look, realization means there's action. If you have a true realization, you're going to act differently. If you have realized that you are the soul, not the body, you're going to act differently. Okay? Most of us, what we have is theoretical knowledge. It's true. Most of us just have theoretical knowledge that we've read, that we've learned, that we repeat, but we don't really deeply realize it because we keep acting in the same way. Okay, so what I'm going to do with you now, is there any oh, you had a question? I totally forgot you.
I hope it's short. I was wondering, like, when you're trying to go to the higher levels of the chitta, so then sometimes you have like realizations, and then difficult realizations come, and you have sometimes difficult emotions or emotions you don't want to embrace.
Yeah, good.
So
okay.
I want to ask like, how you deal with this, especially in a temple setting. You know, I don't like to cry in front of other people in the temple room. So then I'm gonna hide in the toilet or something like that. I'm just joking, but.
Okay, what would like be a difficult emotion? Just give me any
like
emotion.
you want to cry, like you feel so
sadness.
sad, or
Okay, that's.
So how to express this in a.
That's a thing
for
most men. You know, I also struggle with that, to show my sadness. You know, it can be different for everyone. Now, sadness comes up. Now, this is very important. Like, if you figure this out, a lot of your problems are solved in spiritual life. Now, what would be the tamasic way of dealing with sadness?
Eating chocolate.
Okay, wait, I'm gonna... Eating chocolate? No, it's all good. Depression, eating chocolate, sleeping. Yeah, all correct answers. Yes and no. There's a rajasic element, because you're quite active, because you're... But yeah, it's true. It's like you're the victim. Now, there's something very important about... Like, let's say you feel sad. You said depression. What means depression? You suppress something. You bury it. Never existed. You push it down. But guess what? It doesn't work like that. It's all going to be saved in your chitta. Yes. Creating a new samskara. Because you haven't processed it. Modern psychology calls this trauma, right? Samskaras. They call it trauma. Unprocessed emotions. You push the sadness. Give me an example of sadness. Someone hurt you. Someone said something maybe that was painful, or... I stubbed my toe. Huh? I stubbed my toe. What does it mean? I stubbed my toe. Okay, you stumbled your toe. It's not... Thank you for sharing. It's not a good example right now. Tell me...
when you realize something about yourself that's not so nice.
Okay, so you realize something about yourself that's not so nice. For example, you realize that you... let go of a person that was important for you, and you realize they're actually important. But now it's too late. So now you feel sadness. A tamasic way of dealing with an emotion means suppressing it, not feeling it. And many devotees do this in the name of transcending. I'm transcendental, I'm not my body, I'm not my emotions, so I'm not going to feel them. Very, very big problem. What is the rajasic way? Rajasic way is to start to look also without. I mean, it's also tamasic because you're the victim. Everyone hurts me all the time. No one appreciates me. We need to talk about that, by the way, because this is what also keeps us stuck in tamagun. But actually, this is more tamasic way. Rajasic way means I'm just crying and I'm getting absorbed in the story. I lost this person is gone, I don't know what to do, I want to be with this person, but they are gone. And we call our friend and another friend, and it goes on for a day, a week, a month, 2 months, half a year. We are lost. When we identify with the emotion, that's Raja. When we suppress the emotion, Tama. Now, what is the sattvic way of dealing with sadness? Which is your question, basically. Yes? Consciously feeling the emotion, meaning you observe it, you don't identify with it. And this is very, very, yeah? Talking about it can be rajasic, can be tamasic, and can be sattvic, actually. Because if you keep stuck in the same story and you keep telling it again and again and again and again without any realizations, then it's it depends. It can be rajasic and tamasic. If it reinforces your belief that you are the victim of your life, it's tamasic. No, that's good. Very good. Yes, yes. If you have a friend or another person you can talk about, very good. Same, we all see, most of us, we have one or two emotions that control our life. This could be sadness, this could be anger, this could be shame, this could be guilt. Many devotees suffer from guilt, to be honest, almost all the devotees, because of some religious reason. Let's talk about one more thing. Very important. Victim state. This is what keeps you stuck in tamas. So again, how do we deal with sadness in the sattvic way? Consciously feeling it, observing it, and asking sadness, what are you trying to tell me? Then there are some psychological techniques that we're not going to do today for various reasons that can help you to deal with it. But very important is this here, the state of victim. What do I mean by that? Any idea what that means? Huh? Blaming others, yeah. Anything else? Blaming yourself, yeah. Yes. Anything else? Not taking responsibility. That's it. Because victim means I'm a victim of the circumstances. You give all your power away. As soon as you feel like I can't be happy because of the temple, because of this person, because of this job, because I don't have money, because it's raining, because of this, because of that, you become a victim. And when you become a victim, how's your connection with God then when you're a victim? Yeah, no connection at all, because then God doesn't love me, God doesn't understand me, God doesn't hear my prayer, Krishna doesn't hear my prayers. So this keeps us stuck in tamas. When we get this belief that life happens for me, everything that happens to me is orchestrated by Krishna so I can come closer to him, that's when we can really go from the victim state into a higher spiritual state. Okay? Very difficult. This is very, very tough, because the nature of this world is that we get in difficult and tough situations and we usually don't like to take responsibility. Now, important note, that doesn't mean that we tolerate abuse. When because victim can also mean it's all my fault. It's not clear thinking. But to point out that someone violated your space physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually is not something you want to tolerate. You need to set boundaries. Now, I would like to do a little guided meditation with you in the end, to kind of like... I did the meditation, but I'll be honest with you, I was not feeling very free to really do it the way I do it, because it's still a formal temple setting. But this meditation, I can be very free. Because what we're going to do is we're going to go to the higher spiritual intelligence. And we're going to connect to Nishingadev. Okay? You don't need to be a pure devotee, an exalted soul, to get insights from the Lord when you are praying. But if you're waiting that Nishingadev starts talking and moving, then yes, maybe you need to wait until you are like a very pure soul. But if you go in front of Nishingadev with a pure intention and a pure heart and you offer prayers, you can receive insights if you go beyond the mind. Okay? So this is what we're going to do now. It will work for some of you, for some not. Because it's a guided meditation, like anyone who doesn't want to participate, please go, because you're just going to disturb the other people. Okay? Okay. Any more question? Because after this is Gora Arti, and then we're finished for today. I think, yeah? Any question? Anything unclear? See, there was a lot of theory today. Like the practical application fell a little bit short, but I hope it gave you already some insights. So let's start this meditation. Yeah, one question. Tell me.
It came to my mind at the very beginning when we are chanting and we know, like, we clearly notice ourselves in a rajasic state.
Yeah.
either analytical mind or emotional mind, but we have no power over it. So is there any technique that we can?
There are many
ascend?
different techniques, but see, the point is therefore connecting to your physical body and grounding yourself is so important. Sometimes we wake up in the morning, then we rush to the toilet, take a shower, or we do it in the tamasic way, we just stay in bed for 1 or 2 more hours. But, we get up, let's say in a temple, you get up, you take a shower, you go for Mangalarti, you dance, there are announcements, your mind is already going and thinking and, it's already all over the place, unless you were really absorbed. But when you start your japas, you want to ground yourself. The roots meditation, you want to really feel yourself. You want to understand, okay, where am I at? What's my situation? And when you start to chant from that place, you can actually chant with authenticity. Krishna, I feel really disturbed today. Please help me. But if you just Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare, how is Krishna going to feel about that? I mean, we all do that. I do that. We all do that sometimes. But when you actually go deeper, your brain waves literally slow down. And therefore connecting to your body, connecting to your feelings, becoming aware of your inner state is what I would say very, very important for your japa. Therefore, Sachinanda Maharaj, for example, he recommends, and I think also Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj, they recommend pranayam, different exercises that ground you and reconnect you to your body and to your human self. So it becomes Krishna conscious and not Krishna bypassing japa meditation. Okay? Okay. It's very interesting. Now Gomohan went out, but I think it's for the best with the child because I think it's very, very boring, Okay, the speaker is not working. I'm going to use this here. It's going to be fine. Okay, so just close your eyes and set an intention for today. And the intention is basically that this meditation is going to give you some important insight into something that you need to learn or understand to grow in your spiritual life. You're going to receive some insight from Krishna, from your spiritual master. There's going to be an insight of how you can move forward better. Take some deep breath. Just exhale for a moment. One more time, deeply inhale and exhale, just letting go of any stress and unconscious energy and emotion. Then I want you to think about one person in this room, and I want you to wish this person all the best. Any person you can choose, just pray, I wish you all the best. I wish that you find Krishna in this meditation. Now, I want you to feel how your consciousness is starting to zoom out from your physical body. It's like you're looking down at yourself from a third-person perspective. It's like you're looking at yourself, how you live your daily life, how you interact and talk with others, how you're sitting right now in this meditation. It's like you're looking from above down at yourself. And I want you to become more aware of this person that you are in this life. What is it that really moves you in life? What is it that is your intention and motivation? What are your challenges right now in your life? Think about a particular challenge you have right now in your life. It could be anything. but something that troubles your mind right now. Perhaps something you would like to have some more clarity on. And again, don't identify with the challenge, don't identify with the story, but just look at it. Imagine like you're seeing yourself on a screen in cinema. You look at yourself and your life, and you look at the challenge. Perhaps this already gives you some insights about yourself and your life. Maybe it's also a little bit funny to look at yourself and about the different situations that upset you and annoy you. Maybe it's an opportunity to not take yourself and life so seriously. Maybe you can even feel some compassion for this person that you are in this life. Ask yourself, what do I need the most right now in my life? What is it that I need? Is there something I need to hear more often, something I need to do more often? And now with all of this in mind, I would like you to focus now on your heart. Focus on the area around your heart. And you can visualize in your heart the Paramatma. You can visualize Lord Nishingadev, or if that's easier for you, you connect also to your spiritual master. In any case, it's nice to visualize having your guru there connected to you. And then with a very open and honest mind, I want you to give that challenge, that obstacle, that problem over to your spiritual master, over to Nishingadev. My Lord, I'm quite hopeless with this. I don't really understand what to do about this. Please give me some insight. Please help me how I can better deal with this challenge, with this situation. And once you ask the question, I just want you to focus around your heart, not analyze, just receive. Maybe some realization is popping up. Don't try to understand it or analyze it. Whatever comes right now to you, just accept it for now. Even if it seems random, just take that information in. Maybe you see a certain picture, whatever it is, just receive. And also express your gratitude. Krishna, I'm very grateful that I can know you in this life, that I can be with the devotees, that you are there for me. And I know that you're trying to talk to me all the time. But I decide to turn away from you. And as you're receiving these insights, as you're receiving some more clarity about yourself, about your life, I would like you to think about one person that, you might not like as much as others, that you've had some troubles with. And I would just like you to forgive that person and wish that person all the best. Hey, I wish you all the best. The people that have hurt me, I'm letting go because I don't want to give you that power. I want to be free. I don't want to be a victim anymore. I know that everything that happens in my life happens for me so that I can grow spiritually, so that I can come closer to Krishna. Then you can take a deep breath in and exhale. One more time, deeply inhale. Exhale. And just become more consciously aware of any insights, anything you've received today, and understand that at any point of time you can go back to a more relaxed state of consciousness. Contact the Paramatma, contact your spiritual master, and be more spiritually connected. Okay, I'm going to count to 3, and then you can open your eyes. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Just one more thing I wanted to mention is that we didn't talk about so much is emotions. One of the most powerful sattvic emotions is gratitude. So the more gratitude you cultivate in your life, the more peaceful your mind is going to become, because that's one sattvic emotion. Okay. Anyone received any insight, anything that helps them on their journey? Anyone wants to share something? Or I'm just going to pass the mic around. Just everyone just say one word or one thing, and then we can close this workshop. Where's the mic, Balaram? You can start.
First of all, I felt my mind calm down. That was very, give me a lot of peace in this moment, for sure. And I also like that you said to connect with spiritual master, because this is, I found it very nice with the music, and to absorb the mind with the music, and also the point that you said with the brain waves, I think is also a good point. And for me it was very nice, yeah.
Okay, so, okay, thank you for sharing. Yeah, so such meditations can slow down your brain waves and give you insights, depending on how much you can get into it.
Yeah, I got to the realization that I need to take more time out to connect what I feel and what's going inside of me. Not just do, and in the temple we're often just doing and not experiencing.
Right, yeah, powerful. A few more. No one wants to share. You can also share if you like, whatever it is.
I felt some immediate slowing down or relaxation, and I did like this part with connecting with spiritual master also. I just don't know. I have none. That's why I chose Prabhupada.
Okay, very powerful. Yeah.
Had just some good time. I had no realization or something.
Okay. Anyone else wants to?
It was beautiful. It was interesting to, see myself in front of Krishna. I felt like I could really see the part of me that feels like a victim in front of him, thinking that according to how he reciprocates, then I'm going to change my attitude toward him. So it was just beautiful to witness, to not identify with it, and to actually witness the way how I'm approaching him.
Right. It's like, Krishna, when you do what I would like, then I can also surrender, right? Something like that?
More about, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I also have that a lot. Krishna, when things are going my way, then I can be happy and chant. And Madhu, you wanted to?
Yeah, I had this realization that Krishna actually is very easily accessible because he's just everywhere. You just go to yourself, Krishna's there. You just think something, Krishna's there. Krishna's always there. But you easily forget about this point that Krishna is there. It's not, Krishna is not up there or on the altar. I mean, he's sure on the altar, but he's everywhere. He's not limited in his body.
Yes, yeah. That's the thing. It's actually very easy to get into a state when we're more connected. It's the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. So, yeah. Anyone else would like to share something? I can share something. I noticed in the meditation, I turned towards my spiritual master, and I noticed that I was not feeling as myself, as authentic and as safe as I did in Rishikesh when I did. Like when I did this workshop in Rishikesh, it was a very different experience. I noticed that I had a voice in the back of my mind reminding me that I'm in an ISKCON temple and that I have to present things in a certain way. So I became aware of that. So, which is interesting because again, like it blocks us from really getting empowered. When you do a service, when you do anything in spiritual life, and you are not connected, you're not authentic, you're wearing a mask, it blocks from devotion to actually go through to the Lord. And it blocks you from receiving devotion from the Lord. Jai Nishingadev Bhagavan Ki. And this is also very interesting. Many times when we have a very spiritual experience, of course it can be causeless, it's always causeless mercy, but sometimes it's also when all of our masks fall, when we're desperate, when we cry out. This is why why did Prabhupada say cry out like a child to its mother? Because a child has no mask. A child is hungry or angry or sad, it's just gonna cry and turn up the volume. A healthy child at least. And when we do that, when we turn towards the Lord, and in this very honest and open way, it's very easy for Krishna to reciprocate with us. Very easy that we experience this connection. Like you don't have to be a pure devotee to experience a relationship with Krishna. It's very natural. Like it's very, very natural. Like we said, the mind is sattvic, and sattva means that you have this realization of being a soul that is connected to God. So like that. Okay, so then we can give it over to Gaurati unless there are any questions or comments or anything you would like to mention. Like I was thinking to do another part of the Gaurati, but I think I leave it for now just because, see, look, like usually the way this seminar is built is like for each body there's a particular meditation. But I realized because of time and because of contacts and because of me wanting to focus more on what is directly in Prabhupada's books, I think, and also when we do it later on, some will be in Gaurati, some will be new, so I think we'll do it another time, maybe in some EU volunteering. But basically this inner child meditation is very powerful. You can look it up because that's a way how you can give yourself, like how you can give yourself love, appreciation, compassion, encouragement. So it's actually a very, very powerful meditation. Yeah, so like that. Okay. If anyone has interest in such meditations, and so, like anyone wants to do this meditation later on, is there any interest? Okay. Yeah, people do have interests. I mean, yeah, it's a huge topic, It's a bit spontaneous, and you actually need, like, this is something you could do on 5 days. You look at one body and you go really in depth. This is just an overview, and some things came out. But my point is, Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj said something interesting. Like, we can use some of these tools, even some psychological tools. We can use them because we will see that all of this can be found in Bhagavad Gita, in Srimad Bhagavatam. That's how I started to explore all of these different alternative psychological things, and then I realized it's all in Bhagavatam, all in Bhagavad Gita, it's all there. So you just need to churn it a little bit and go deep, which can sometimes be challenging. Okay, so just to summarize very briefly, what is very important is you want to feel safe, so you can be authentic, so you can step in your healthy ego, so you can process your emotions, be connected to yourself, and then turn yourself towards the Lord. And what you don't want to do is get stuck into victim mode, and you don't want to get stuck in the story of your life. I'm not lucky. It never works out for me. People never understand me. We don't want to get stuck in these stories, okay? Otherwise they control our life. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gauranga Prabhu ki jai. Gauranga Bhakta Vrinda ki